Kentucky is the best team in the SEC.
No, not yet. I'm still putting Auburn there, and Auburn's still learning, because you have to figure out that now you're the team that everybody's circling on their calendar. That's a big deal, especially when you're the number one team in the country, and their problems at Georgia were fixable. Like, I could see Bruce after that game, hey, we got to figure out ways to get Jabari the ball at the end of the game. So I do love this Kentucky team. What a fantastic performance they had against Alabama, and they're figuring out how to play with each other. It takes a while. I think people forget that. It takes a while, even with transfers, first-year players of any sort. It takes a while to figure it out. They're starting to figure it out. There's definitely a 1A, 1B situation, but right now I'm still leaning towards Auburn because of how hard they play consistently, and like we've talked about with Duke, they're going to have the best player on the floor at all times. They need to utilize that best player on the floor at all times, but it's pretty interesting to watch. Kentucky with Keon Brooks and Damian Collins, man, you want to talk about some sky-touching dudes. Those guys are getting off the floor. Damian Collins, that's a big plus for them because they needed another guy. He needed time, but big-time athlete, big-time potential. I hope he stays around. It's going to be interesting. But Oscar Tshiebwe, any team with Oscar Tshiebwe, they're going to have a chance against anybody.
I want to see this game again. I want to see them play again. Like, give us, please, college basketball gods, give us Auburn, Kentucky for the SEC title at the SEC tournament title game is that 1:00 tip on Selection Sunday. So please, SEC tournament gods, give us Kentucky, Auburn at 1 p.m. on Selection Sunday. That's all I ask. I don't ask for much, Fanta. I do not ask for much. That's all I want in this world.
Well, I'm wondering if at some point on these 10 things that you might ask for something in stores, but we'll get to that. Here's the deal. Auburn is 7-0 on the road. They're 7-0. Kentucky,
pretty good.
Kentucky's 4-3, and you have to be able to win off your home court in March. And so because you're 7-0 on the road, the proof is in those numbers. I will still sit here and say that Auburn, although they're actually lower in the net rankings at number 7, Kentucky's up to number 4 in the net. So by the metrics purposes, you would probably say Kentucky at the moment, and you'd say Kentucky overall. But I agree with Terrence here. I'm going to go with Auburn, stick true to my guns. The reason why I think Auburn has a little bit more depth, I do think that they will almost always have the best player on the floor in Jabari Smith. But I also look at their rim protection, guys. Rim protection is so crucial in money time situations, and Auburn has it, because if it's not Walker Kessler, it's Dylan Cardwell, who might be one of the more underrated players in the country. He has helped win them games. He has helped get them stops. If they get into foul trouble, how many teams do we talk about when they get into foul trouble, they do not have proper alternative options? Auburn does.
You know who's the perfect example of that? Kentucky.
Kentucky
does not have someone to come in for Oscar Tshiebwe. I just want to let's say one thing real quick, and it kind of alludes a little bit to what Tio said earlier, is that I trust Kentucky's guards a little bit more than I trust Auburn's guards, in the sense that, okay, they're at Georgia on Saturday afternoon. Jabari Smith, probably the best isolation player in the SEC, maybe the best isolation player in college basketball, maybe the best player in college basketball if things go right, maybe the player of the year. He takes 7 shots. Katie Johnson, Wendell Green take 39 shots.
Yeah,
they combined to go 4 for 16 from 3. I trust Kentucky's guards to be able to make better decisions and get the ball where it needs to be a little bit more than I do Auburn's guards. That's my worry. Now, I think both teams are great. I think both teams are going to make the Final Four, and I want to see a rematch. And I think the 1A, 1B for me, Fanta, but I trust Kentucky's guards a little bit more than I trust Auburn's guards.
Yes, I agree with that statement. I do trust Kentucky's guards more than I trust Auburn's guards, but I trust Auburn overall as a roster more than I trust Kentucky. Sometimes the other thing is, guys, if you attack Tshiebwe, if you attack Oscar Tshiebwe, and you're able to get 2 quick ones, what the hell happens to Kentucky's front court? A lot. I mean, they go downhill. But I also think that for Auburn, their spurtability factor is greater than Kentucky.
Yeah.
Like, KD Johnson is such a great player in every way, Tio.
He is. Can I say one more thing real quick? Zep Jasper not playing he's the brakes to Wendell Green, to where like whenever Wendell Green's going nuts, he throws Zep in there, and Zep's not going to shoot a ton of shots, but he's going to do everything else, and he's going to get guys involved in the offense, going to move. Those guys kind of complement each other pretty well, because he's more, I'm going to play defense and initiate the offense, where Wendell Green's like, I'm out here just to get buckets. So I think that's a good, he's a good player. He helps them.